Hello and welcome back to The Slice Show. This is the 33rd episode of The Slice Show. We're in the 30s, boys.
We've been in the 30s.
Tyler's back.
Hi.
Tyler is back. We've had a couple episodes without him. I'm Joey. I didn't start with that. I'm so excited that my friend Tyler's back. I'm here with two of my best friends, Adrian. Yo. And Tyler.
Hi.
Again. And yeah. Today we're going to be talking about some quantum physics. And before you immediately click off the video after hearing that,
We're all idiots, so it's fun.
yeah, we're going to be talking about the fun side of quantum physics. We're not going to make you do any homework or go and look stuff up afterwards. We're just going to be talking about
I
multi-universe
already
theories.
did all of that for you.
We're going to be talking about multi-universe theories and like parallel universe type shit. And
Hello, I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson.
DeGrasse, not DeGrasse. You've been saying that for the past like 2 hours.
Yeah,
Also-
hey, bro.
Bro, give it up for the boys. They've been holding it down. Adrian's been editing the past 3 episodes?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
show some respect in the comments. Let's get some comments for Adrian.
Hey,
all
our
right?
analytics would love it too.
Yeah.
Facts.
And,
Facts.
and our analytics will love it if you click the link in the description and follow our Instagram.
At
100%.
slice.fl.
And at the Slice Show Podcast.
All right. After all those plugs,
And share with your friends. And hit subscribe.
we'll go ahead and get on into it. So, what prompted this episode, I think, is the fact that very recently there's been predominant scientists and like
Confirmation
physicists.
that the fact that multiverses and parallel universes are like 99.9% like factual.
Yeah, they're pretty sure that like they're actually a thing at this
Which
point.
is so weird to think about.
Yeah.
But I say I would the way that like it's viewed as when we were little kids is like you guys aren't gonna get it. No, you guys, you have to understand like traveling like light speed in like Star
Yeah.
Wars where they're kind of
Yeah.
like they blink away in like
Yeah.
a blue portal.
Yeah.
That's kind of like how I've always viewed it as like a little kid. So
Well,
like
I feel like we gotta lay down some basics real quick, right? So like, what is a multiverse?
well, like that's like so like everything's a theory, like in a
Yes.
sense, guys.
Yes.
So like when you hear us talking, it's like all theory, like what we just think.
It's all theory and we're all idiots. So,
But when it
it's-
comes to a multiverse, it's literally just a collection of parallel universes. And then parallel universes are just what's going on right now, just in a different time setting. If that can be like comprehended by the
It's like-
audience.
it's
Yeah.
like
It's like
it's happening at the same time. But like, for example, like
but they might modernize slower or faster than us.
exactly.
Yeah. So,
exactly.
So it's like it's simultaneously happening, but their structure of life might not be at the same level as ours.
it's kind of in the sense like for all my like comic people out there, if you ever like watched Flash or
Yeah.
like read the Flash comics, there's Flashpoint in that
Yeah.
in that. So like if you don't know, like his parents were or his mother was murdered, his father was pinned as the murderer because of the fact that she was killed by a speedster. So like when the cops show up, nobody's there, nobody knows what the fuck's going on because speedsters aren't a thing at that point. Blah blah blah. They blame it on the father, right? So Flash, once he gets his powers and is in like all that shit for a while, goes back in time, saves his mother, creates Flashpoint because then he goes back to the present and his mother's still alive. His mother's not dead.
That's
So it's like it's a very slight difference, but he starts to realize how much of a difference that actually causes in the long run. And that's in a sense of what it is, where it's like there's multiple universes out there that are the same exact thing. Could be us three sitting in this room, us four, including Hardeep, who's not on camera right now, sitting in this room, but instead of it being at Adrian's house, it's at my house. It's at Tyler's house.
yeah,
It's
I was just
whatever
reading
else.
about that, and like that's more of like, correct me if I'm wrong, but like I heard it was a terminology of like a megaverse. And I didn't even know
Yeah.
that was a thing.
Yeah.
To where it's like literally how you're describing it, it's a parallel universe derived strictly off of the like decisions you make, like yourself.
Yeah.
So kind of like how Flash goes like back in time, and how you said his mom's alive. It's like there's consequences with that though.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
with his mom being alive, his mom made decisions
Cause and
throughout that
effect.
like thing. Kind
Well,
of like
not even just his mom, but like he realized that like he didn't end up getting the job that he had in his previous life because in his previous life, the cop that worked his parents' scene ended up taking him in as an orphan, which that doesn't happen. so he doesn't become a CSI in the future because of that. And then like certain crimes don't get solved because he's not the CSI on that case, like blah, blah, blah. And it's just that trickle effect of like, even though it is a very slight thing, it's kind of like how in one of the videos we watched where it was like, oh, there could be a parallel universe right now that's at the same time that we're recording this podcast right now has nobody on it because all of humankind got extinct by a meteor or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Or something super slight to where like our cameras float, kind of like thing.
Yeah,
like our
yeah,
cameras
yeah.
are just like,
Or like-
so like all of like the stuff that we're recording in is like all like monochrome, like when like Squidward's like future.
Yeah, yeah. Or like
Or I wasn't even born in Florida.
exactly
That too.
exactly. Or like the pandemic never happened.
Have
Or
you
some
guys
shit
seen
like that, like-
have you guys seen like the movie, like since you're saying trickle down effects, like have you guys seen, I believe it's Ashton Kutcher, The Butterfly Effect?
I personally,
I haven't,
I've
no.
heard about it.
I honestly recommend both of you, like not on like, I know you guys haven't seen like Star Wars, like it's not
Yeah.
like it's not like nerdy, you know what I mean? Like it's like I would like you guys would enjoy that actually.
Yeah.
But say like, and anyone that's viewing and you haven't seen that movie, please watch it. It's honestly sick. It's like Interstellar type like good in my opinion. Like
Interstellar
Interstellar was
really,
really
like
good, yeah.
or what's the one that left you completely just
Inception.
that
The
one
with
too.
Leonardo DiCaprio with the dreidel at the end,
Like
or
that.
whatever
It's
it
like-
was, the spinner.
It's like that level of movie to where like
Yeah.
you finish it and you're just kind of like, whoa,
yeah.
that was nuts.
About to say the big common theme in everything we're going to talk about and like on this podcast, correct me if I'm wrong, is we cause and effect.
100%.
Quantum is built like kind of on the theory of like, you know, like time travel. Like you can be in two places at once.
Yes.
Right. So it's like, but because of what happens in like one universe alters a different one, and then alters that one and alters. It's like the very, like you said, it can be catastrophic where like we don't exist
or
at
just
all,
very,
or it can be
very
very
simple.
slight, like you know, like
My house is on the left side of the street instead of the right side of the street.
yeah,
Like just something so small.
Or your car is blue instead of red.
right.
So it's like all that stuff. People are starting to confirm it. Like scientists are not confirm it 100%, obviously, because like none of them have gone there as far as we
there's
know.
still-
But
there's
like
still
they're
many-
starting to like
because you know the universes are billions of light years away.
But to add to kind of what you guys were saying, it brings up how everything is quantum, how you said, Ty.
Yeah.
And when that was being brought up, it was like the derivative of all that was the fact that electrons within our atoms can be two places at once.
yeah.
So how you were saying we're made of quantum.
That's the foundation. Of
Yeah. It
basically
made
quantum
me
physics.
think of like, do you guys know like chakra is kind of like your energy?
Yeah.
It made me think of that. Kind of like how like whatever you like possess within like that is like what you can do. So is like the matter of us kind of reaching that like parallel universe, since we already have the like quantum in us, like do you think it's just a matter of us just like tapping in almost?
You mean to like try to see the the alternative reality?
Yeah, because like it's not just like parallel universes. There's like alternate universes,
Right.
megaverses. Like I was like looking into it. There's so many
There's
different types.
A jillion different
Like,
verses.
do you think you could like to kind of bring in another topic, like dreaming? But like,
Yeah.
do you think you could like tap in maybe?
Yeah.
Like, do you think like we ourselves could maybe speed up the process of bridging those two alternate universes together?
Yes and no. This is where it becomes hard for me because like I'm a Christian, so like I believe like you know like God's plan, like everything's laid out, this and that. You know what I mean? So it's like I believe.
That's a really good point.
So, not to cut you off, but since you brought that up, I
Yeah.
was just thinking about this. As a Christian,
Mm.
do you and like I'm Catholic,
Yeah.
but like I never like even thought about this.
right.
As somebody who practiced Christianity like often, do you believe when it comes to like multiverses and shit like that, do you believe that all of that was created by God or just this one universe that we're in right here?
That's a perspective I didn't
Everything.
even.
Everything.
Word.
Yeah.
I was about to say that was just something that I
I
just thought
did
about.
not
Like,
even.
yeah.
Isn't that
Like,
it's
conceive of
crazy to
that
think about
thought.
too. Like if you mix religion with this, whoa.
Yeah.
That's a different, that's a whole different topic
Yeah.
of
But-
conversation.
So like I believe like my life is planned out. Like everything that I'm doing is supposed
It's
to
for a
happen,
reason, yeah.
Right. But like who's not to say that like, you know, it's a plan for me to be able to tap into, you know, past me or like be able to
I say that
travel.
kind of it makes sense because like in the way when you read into any like multiverse theory, they describe everything kind of as a timeline. So
Right.
like, your timeline's already set.
Yeah.
It's just like when you make a decision within that timeline, you kind of like create
alter.
another one. Like
Yeah.
you break off.
Branches.
I'll say that was the best way I was seeing every page that I was reading into it. Describe it.
Like here, like you can use my life an example in this past year, right? So it's like cause and effect situation, right? It's like, all right, graduated high school, moved to Orlando. Was in Orlando, moved home, right?
Mhm.
Then when I moved home, I left behind like my life in Orlando, left behind, my job, school, friends, came home, right? Met a new group of people, right? Created a business. So that's like another like line, right? Met new people, another line, right? Went back to a different job, new line. Like so,
it's like right there, you described potentially like 8 alternate universes.
right.
that
So,
could have
so
been.
it's like, but like so many different things. Like, what if I stayed in Orlando? This would have happened. And what if I moved home a week later? This or what,
Yeah.
like
Like
there's
if you
so
would've-
many
if you would've
ifs,
stayed-
ands, and buts,
if
right?
you would have stayed, Slice might have never been like what we're doing right now.
Right. Like we might not be all in the same room. I might, just be helping you guys edit from afar. Like
Yeah.
helping you guys. You know what I mean? So it's like, there's like everything in life is a cause and effect. Right. So it's like people say, oh, that's such a coincidence. But like, I personally don't believe in coincidences.
I don't either. I
Like,
believe
something
it's like
happened for
for
that
a
to
reason.
happen, for that to happen.
I was about to say, like, I've sat there and thought about it and been like, yo, like, I'm the type of person, like you were saying, I do believe that like everything happens for a reason. Like I
Yeah.
also believe like people are put in your life for a reason.
Oh, 1,000%.
like you meet
I've seen
people,
that.
you meet people at a certain time for a reason.
One-
Even if
1,000,000%.
it's the wrong time, because like obviously,
Even
like,
if you
there's-
don't realize it.
exactly. Like the time that you meet somebody and shit like that. Like if the time that we met freshman year, like that would like we met then for a reason.
It's crazy to think that there's a
Same.
parallel universe to where potentially all three of us like despise each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
that, like,
or-
you said that
Or have
and
zero clue who each other are.
yeah,
Yeah.
like, you just said that and that just came into my mind. Like there's a universe out there that we don't even like know we exist to each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
That's what, yeah. I mean, it's crazy to think about, but like, back to what you were saying is like, you asked me if I believe that like you're able to tap into that
Yeah.
1,000,000%, because like I told you before, like on a podcast before, like about like dreaming, like for some reason, like when I dream extremely vividly and I can almost control my dreams to an extent. So it's like I have room to explore within like that realm.
That brings up what I was looking at with Nikola Tesla. If you guys have been watching our previous episodes, you would know. But it brought up how he would test his experiments in his dreams, and I was looking at that meant that he was tapping into his like alternate universes to where he actually went through with those experiments and they worked.
And saw the results.
Yeah.
Because as of that point, I just was like, okay, like lucid dreaming, it's kind of like you can run like what if scenarios in your head and have them play out. I never thought of the fact
it
that that
physically
could be
playing out.
that could be you touching into another reality.
Well, how else would you get like that accurate results? Like his like he legit would have trial and error in his mind, and then he would know. Then when he did it in like, this time frame, this retrospect, or however you want to say it, it would be right.
It's
Yeah.
like we talk about how we don't know space.
Right.
And then we're like, oh, we explore space, but we don't even know our oceans. Like I feel like we don't even know our own mind.
I was about to say,
Not at all.
Like not at all.
I think that like dreams are way more powerful than anybody even thinks that they are. I think that like not even necessarily powerful, but like have way more meaning than like anybody even thinks that they do.
Let's
But
say,
I
like,
said your body's asleep, so like your
Yeah.
energy that's
It's-
only being used is your
It's
brain power.
all mind, bro.
Yeah.
It is all mind. I feel like when you're sleeping and when you're dreaming, that's when you're like
Your mind's most
you-
powerful.
I was about to say, you know how people say that like, oh, you only use like 20% of your mind and shit like that. I feel like when you're dreaming, you're using like the other fucking 80%.
that's also why you see these people like coming out now, like to like using more percentages of your mind. Like that's why you see people nowadays, like I don't know your guys' standpoint on it, but like medical psychedelics.
Yeah.
Like that's why people are like that. People are saying that's the answer to tapping into like the other like universes, since in a sense like the medical benefits of like
Yeah.
psychedelics.
Like microdosing and shit like that.
Yeah, like it essentially like opens up the other passages of your brain that you're not using
Yeah,
day in, day out.
But I mean, that could also be quite the opposite of a
no,
benefit.
no, no. That's why I
Yeah.
say I don't know your.
I was about to say
everyone's
that-
standpoint's different on that because essentially you're dealing with drugs.
I was
Hard
about
drugs.
to say it's literally like it's altering your cognitive like perception of reality.
Yeah, I mean,
so it's like in a sense, yes, I could understand where people come from when they say like it helps them tap into it more, but like you're also talking to a fucking toothbrush. So like
Yeah.
like so
my viewpoint on that is to each their own. If it helps you, it helps you. But like from me looking at it, it's like I don't know how like
It's
sure.
like strictly medical, not Jerry down at the bar.
No, to each their own. Like if it helps you like with I don't know, your insomnia, like I don't know, then sure. But like at the same time, like the way I look at it, like, oh, it's a medical benefit. It can also be catastrophic to you if you type in and see the wrong thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because it's like there's a push for it now where it's like, oh, this is the answer to those like questions that we can't answer with the fact that we don't use the like how it's
right.
we
But
don't
like,
use our full brain. People are saying that's the answer.
I think we're also meant not to see certain things.
yeah.
Not to experience certain things.
Like you think the brain's going only at 20% capacity for like a good reason.
Yeah.
It's like almost like it's
it's kinda-
restraining you from the ugly.
It's kind of like how you were saying, like, oh, if we were to cross over into other universes or some shit like
You're gonna
that,
see stuff that you're not supposed to see.
something would get fucked up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
it's
if
like
you were to, it's kind of like how they say, like, if you time travel, like
Back in the
don't,
future.
don't go to yourself, don't let yourself see yourself, like blah blah blah. Don't mess with anything, because even if you mess with something very slightly,
Butterfly effect.
exactly. So it's like maybe it's kind of like that, where it's like, yo, if you tap into everything, or if you're going and actually doing that, it'll actually fuck it up. And that's why you're not supposed
You
to
must
do
be
that.
present.
Like, we're not supposed to know that there's multi-universes. Maybe we're not supposed to be in space, because if we go to space, or we go to Mars or some shit like that, then like something bad will fucking happen, because maybe people have done it before and it didn't fucking work.
But it's kind of like time travel and parallel universes, like level 1 parallel universes essentially kind of, when you read it, are very similar in meaning, kind of like how I was saying earlier, like they're 100 million light years away. So it's like technically like time travel, since it's back in time or forward in time.
Yeah.
So they kind of tie in together, but it's back to how
So wait, question for you.
what?
Do you think time travel is possible?
I don't
I think maybe like by that, like if I'm trying to use common sense, at least, if you look at something that's on the like far enough away in space, like how we were saying off pod, how like the sun, we're looking at the sun actually like fucking 10 million years.
Do you think
in
that
the past?
that you yourself can go back or forward in time?
I saw something about that we
Not right
can't-
now.
that we can't. No. I saw something that we can, but it would cost so much to do so that like we'd only be able to like, I don't know, like
We'd
this
only
could
be able to
compl-
jump a couple seconds.
Yeah,
or some
like
shit
that. It was
yeah.
like something like, I could be completely wrong, but I'm like, it was almost like we can jump once for a short period. And I don't even think we could like jump back.
But like, okay, do you think that like you? All right, so back to like dreaming. Do you think that you can travel in your dreams?
I mean, you in a
Yeah.
sense you do, because you go back into like your memories almost, and you like relive them.
well, that
so,
your
like-
imagination like goes on creative mode
Now,
down here.
is that your imagination or is that an alternate reality?
See, with like
See, that's where that gets interesting, because I never even thought about that until we talked about it like an hour ago.
no, because
Like,
with the past, I feel like it's different because you've lived those moments, and when you're dreaming, like your brain is the only thing working. So I feel like your memory, in a sense, improves. So like you're able to go back to those memories that when you're awake worrying about X, Y, and Z, you wouldn't be able to like go back to them.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever had a dream before school of the school day, and then you went to school and the day was happening how you had the dream? I've had that
like a
million
deja
times.
vu type
Yes.
thing. And like that's
Okay,
another
So
thing.
yeah.
was that you living your future self in your dreams?
See, I'm very weird with deja vu because I can never like
Pinpoint
tell
it?
when
I
I'm
pinpoint
like,
the hell out of
I
it.
pinpoint the hell out of it all the time. It's so creepy too. I get so like freaked out, and I literally just sit there and question reality at that point. I literally just look around at everybody and go, "Yo, am I the only one who's feeling this shit right now?" And like it almost always happens at work and shit too.
Yeah.
Like all my coworkers will look at me and be like, "Yo, you're like you're crazy." I'll be like, "Nah." Like I'll literally tell them like, "No, you walked in that door wearing that shirt, eating that fucking sandwich, and you walked this way and said this exact thing to me,
Yep.
and you were behind me, and you were right there grabbing that fucking cup, and like I remember all of
this
it.
used to happen kind of often to me, so I realized that there was like a pattern in it, and I would try to force it upon myself to recreate it every night.
You'd give yourself like incentives to like have dreams, so your next day would play it out like that.
Almost.
Like you'd watch like basketball, so you could be like, I'm gonna have good basketball dreams. So like tomorrow in gym class, I can hoop.
No, not to like that extent.
Manifestation
Yeah,
100.
Never thought about that, bro. That would be a trick for athletes.
So
Anyways,
like, do you think manifestation like ties into that?
is it a thing?
I think so.
All right, here's the thing,
Like
right?
there's so many
At
things
the
you
very
could,
base
like
layer,
talk
we're
about with
talking about
this.
atoms and quantum,
Yeah,
right? Which literally tie into
Everything.
everything.
Yeah.
Off of
So it's
your-
like, in that sense, yeah, because everything's quantum. We're quantum. This table's quantum.
I was about to
camera's
say,
quantum,
as you
quantum.
were
Yeah.
saying.
Like, so it's like, in a sense, like this record player is also in like another universe and another universe and another reality and the alternate reality of that one. And so it's
How
like,
does like obviously like I'm gonna ask this question. You guys are gonna hit me with the most obvious like I
Right.
don't know, but like how can like the fact that we can't pinpoint the location of electrons because they can be in two places at once. Like, could you give me like a guess on how that even like works? Like how something can be at two places at once. Even if it's just like even if it's just a mere like an electron.
oh,
Which, like
think of this. All right. When you look at the mirror, you're looking at the reflection of yourself.
yes.
Okay, so it's like think of you in like a crazy tunnel, like like those fun, whatever they're called, the fun houses,
Mhm.
right? Where there's just
Not the
multiple
fair.
different, but each one's different in a sense, right? Wider version of you, smaller. That's literally what's playing out. But like, so how do you pinpoint those electrons, pretty much, and atoms? You're asking.
It really does make you think like I believe by now we can give like a general idea like how we can tell you now like they sit in the like in the outer field, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's not happening. You know, like if you walk across the street, you're not going to see Tyler from 5 minutes ago.
But
Like, you know what I mean?
Like how do you like how do you see that?
See
Like how
what?
do you see the same thing in two places at once?
Perspective
Yeah.
goes into your mind. So it's like, all right. So it's like,
Like to put it in grander scale, how would you see the two of me if I were like, I guess to like really break it down,
So-
if I were just two electrons?
all right, then let me give you another crazy thing to think about, right? My perception of you is different than his perception of you, than his perception of you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
see
yeah.
multiple versions of you, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, how does Joey see the version that I'm seeing of you?
Okay, so like that's a whole different like
That- and-
that's a whole
and-
different
and
ordeal,
you gotta-
bro.
and you- I was about to say, and you got it. Yeah. That's
I mean,
That's
yeah.
a whole different thing.
But like to
where
tie it back in, like I feel like it's off of your own perception of the item or like of what's happening.
how you take it in.
Exactly.
How you take it in is kind of like your understanding of it, which,
Yeah.
which makes sense.
But it's
'Cause,
like,
like-
because like there's no, like, I wouldn't know any other way besides my own perspective.
Do you think there's gonna be one day? I feel like obviously there will be, but like realistically, like soon within our lifetime, maybe like someone's gonna come out and be like, "All right, guys, parallel universes like aren't a law, and this is why." Like one statement that explains how the two electrons can be at two places at once
I think eventually, like people will
within
figure it
our
out.
lifetime.
I don't think it would be in our lifetime.
Within our
to be
lifetime,
honest.
no. Just because I feel like,
Our scientific advancement isn't like really focused on like.
Yeah, I was
we're
about to say it's
advancing
not
more in, like, medical
focused on
field.
that.
Like
We're
I still
adva-
think that we're behind.
well, we're advancing medically, and we're I think we're more focused in that field in like space travel than we are in like parallel universe
Gotta
travel.
say,
and
our
shit
best
like
hope
that.
is like as someone describing that would be Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Like honestly,
I mean,
Yeah.
unless there's some like people working in the fucking shadows right now, which I
Some
guess they
crazy
are.
quantum
I guess
physicists
they
that
are
never
because
heard of.
I didn't even know that they were still looking into that shit until like I found out that it might be true.
So we might need a part 2 with a quantum physicist. If you guys know of any quantum physicist in Martin County, please let us know.
Or if y'all know Elon Musk, just tell him to hit us up.
Yeah, I mean, we might need that part too.
If you guys are liking a part 2, please comment down below, like the video, let us know.
Yeah, 100%.
Shout
We
out, dog.
appreciate you guys listening to this. Like we said earlier, if you haven't checked us out already, Go head over to Instagram and check us out at slice.fl for the main page for all of our main shit, and the Slice Show podcast for all the Slice Show podcast
Clips,
clips,
and more
news,
clips.
anything else. That's where some of you might be watching this right now. So we appreciate you if you are. And anyways, we will see you guys in the next one. This is it.
Deuces.
See you.